second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for they're
winning, it's how they're winning. All phases of the game.
Field by their quarterback, the former Houston Cougar.
Options he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the win. So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being
back at the 22.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defender.
To make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On second down, here's Keenan. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
Let's focus outside on Demaryius Thomas. His numbers were down slightly last year. First time in the last 5 years he didn't top 1,000 yards. But this guy's been to 5 Pro Bowls. And when I think about the evolution of his career, from his time at Georgia Tech, where they were running an option offense and he didn't catch much more than bombs, to now being a complete receiver, no reason in my mind to think he won't be over 1,000 yards again in the future.
Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
last week's game.
It was good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to start the drive. The starts. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Starts. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. They've been excellent against the pass. The number 6 unit in the NFL.
And it's really difficult to prepare for this team. This is the number 1 overall passing team in the NFL. But it shouldn't be hard to get excited about playing against them. The ultimate test going against that unit.
And that's why you and I are excited to broadcast this game.
Yes, sir.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Now it's Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. This is taken at the 23. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November. already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. The starters now defensively for Baltimore.
Linebackers still often control defenses, and C.J. Mosley does exactly that for his. A Pro Bowler 3 of his first 4 years. Not only can he run and hit, he diagnoses plays so well, feels them out, and makes sure his team is organized and in the right spot on each and every snap.
Now the Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd down.
Could be a blitzer.
Out of the gun, Keenum. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Wagner. And 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a 1st down.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the 1st round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. C.J. Mosley coming on the blitz. He gets him for a long week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Shotgun snap for Keenum. Throw left side. It's reeled in by Hamilton. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. On play action, it's Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It's a great job by this secondary. When I watch them, they remind me of elite defenders on a basketball court, right? They want to contest each and every pass.
Great contest on 3rd down to bring up 4th. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the #1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're #1 in their conference.
Give them a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Von Miller able to drop him for a loss of 4.
And that's their first sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks, great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out. Now Jackson. He sets to fire deep. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, you know, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
Dancing away at the 30. That'll be a 50-yard punt with 8 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Denver getting set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and hit them with a screen soon?
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Keenum now to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever. From the gun, it's Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete.
Started to look like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Marquette King now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a 1st down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a 1st down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
A run here for Starks. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Jackson now off the bootleg. That's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Watch it now, Barney.
This is Starks. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. Charles and I back to Denver after this. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Watch him now, Barney.
Jackson on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Cox. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Give him 30 yards there.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. He's going to get it running right. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Jackson, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
So still no touchdowns in the 1st half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? Keenum trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
And the Ravens taking the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Eluding the pressure right. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Leopard!
Now Jackson on 1st down. Forced out to his left. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Now starts. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the capper that put it in the end zone, a run of 8 yards. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Now Case Keenum in the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a first down. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Play action. Keenum. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Now they'll run on the ball. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
On 3rd and long, it's Keenum. Room here to run. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10. This is Starks to start the drive. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Sean Dion Hamilton was there to bring him down defensively.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. And they'll run it here. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Andrews. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A huge gain of 40 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Two minutes to go here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Von Miller able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Good work by that Bronco defense, and it leads to a 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. He has not had the game that he envisioned. His team has not had the game that they've envisioned here. So how do they turn this around now?
Well, right now, what he's looking forward to doing is finding a way to get the added weight on his back. Is it like that monkey that Steve Young was talking about? Remember that in the Super Bowl?
Oh, the 95 Super Bowl.
Right, when they beat the Chargers. And, you know, he had that weight of expectations and past greats on his back. In this case, it's just bad play. Can he shake it off and then be able to play loose and free and help his team out?
See if he can do just that. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. Keenum now 5 out of 10, 50% throwing it. Not so hot, but he does have a first down. Working from the gun, Keenum. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Keenum now on first down. Pass incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10, Keenum here again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards that time on the keeper. Brings up 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Well, let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. They do go for it. It's Keenum. And this is going to be incomplete. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Andy Dalton leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head up to the Motor City to check in on the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were winners in that one as they take care of the visiting Chicago Bears. Matthew Stafford, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Finally, let's get out to the Bay Area, see what's happening with the Raiders at home in Oakland. And in that one, it's the visiting Giants who have the lead. The Giants still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His guys will start the 3rd quarter with the lead as we get you back out to Denver and hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And that one results in 35 yards.
If the post pattern is often equated as a change-up route, how about when you throw it to your big guy down the center of the field? Covered or not, you have great confidence he's going to come down with the football. And when he does, as we just saw, long gains often result.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Play action. Now Jackson. His throw incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Play to start the drive, not much sense.
Detroit! Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
Jackson from the shotgun. Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen. There's no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off.
Lucky 56, lucky 56. All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Ravens will extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And there's going to be a stoppage here. The booth wants to take another look at this potential touchdown.
The previous play is under review. After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count.
Over! All right, now, lucky 56, lucky 56. Gone! 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 Gone!
Throwing is Jackson. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. A 4-yard pickup that gets him going forward, but still 15 yards left on third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Third and long. It's Keenum. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Ravens, they'll take over. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Detroit! Detroit! Hey, got three down. All right, now, lucky 56.
On second down, here's Jackson. He went backwards 7 yards, setting up a tough third down. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. They go play action with Jackson. Throw left side complete. It's Cox. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or two short, and it's fourth down.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. It's a quarterback sneak. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side, able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a first down.
This time, Jackson will throw it. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on second and goal.
Detroit! Back 99 Philly, here we go! Gone!
Now it's Jackson. Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Shaq Lawson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
Over!
Play action. It's Jackson. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that stretches this lead even further. It's now 24-0. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Play action. Now it's Keenum. Wide open receiver complete. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st down, it's Keenum. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos cut into that lead. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. You're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out.
Holding. Offense.
So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now, 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone, gone. Gone, gone.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this will be caught at the 30. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Tucker now for the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Throwing on 1st down is Keenum. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On 2nd and 10, Keenum over the middle. He's got Deshaun Hamilton. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Broncos 1st down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Keenum now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. It's a loss of 10 yards on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. Keenum to throw on second down. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
On third and long, it's Keenum. Over the middle, complete. It's Wagner. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective. And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. The Broncos on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. Vance Joseph can hardly bear to watch. And the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he's able to get up here to the 26. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Gone!
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, usually you don't think of the cornerback coming in for a no-gain play, but that's what we had there. Nice tackle.
Yeah, and how about the range, too? Coming from the outside part of the play, moving his way into the inside and making that play happen. No gain for the offense, big play for the defense.
Detroit!
And now Jackson will look to throw it. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A big play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Ravens continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game: defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. Tucker now to add the point after. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And that will extend this big lead. A four-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Now Case Keenum and the offense heading back onto the field. And those numbers, they kind of tell the story of his game so far. Started off not so hot. Now he's really heated up.
And remember, he signed up for duty as the guy who leads the team, right? The field general, the signal caller. So when things go rocky early, he can't just exit out and ask someone else to pick things up. He's got to do it himself, and that's what he's done here in this game.
On first down, Keenum got his man complete over the middle. It's Hamilton, and he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. They'll come up 2nd and 6 now from the 24. On second down, here's Keenum. He's going to float this one deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing on third down, Keenum. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Ravens will get it. 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout,
because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out, and no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right?
Yes,
as the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On third down, Jackson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they work this out past the 25. And they convert on third with a gain of 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 39 that time.
And they just had another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the time they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And how it turns out.
And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Shaquille Barrett in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. He's going to rifle one deep. And this is caught inside the 5. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They come out here in the eye. Their running will start. Another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So this drive spans 7 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken short. Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. Keenum on 1st down. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
Try and get it all back with one big shot right there, but even if successful, that doesn't get them all the way back to where they need to be. Can't totally abandon throwing the ball underneath as well.
One last throw for Keenum. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Ravens, the perfect season remains intact as they move to 11-0 on the